Finance Committee tried to meet last Friday, but was unable because of other commitments. That we're going to meet tomorrow. Right? Snow or no snow?
Any other committee reports? All right. Under new and old business, we have items for disposal.
Mr. President, I move that the Willow Board of Education approve the disposal of items and equipment per attached.
Support. It has been moved and supported that the Willow Board of Education approve the disposal of items and equipment per attached. Discussion.
These are mainly computer type items and just different parts that don't have any need anymore, and so it's just an annual purging that we do.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Approval of contract transportation services.
Mr. President, I move that the Willow Board of Education authorize the superintendent to enter into a contract to co-locate its transportation operations, staff, fleet, and maintenance in the Willow Run District with modifications to the Sampson building to accommodate the additional workers and fleet.
Support. It has been moved and supported that the Willow Run Board of Education authorizes the superintendent to enter into a contract to co-locate his transportation operations, staff, fleet, and maintenance in the Willow Run School District with modifications to the Sampson building to accommodate the additional workers and fleet. Discussion.
Mr. President, I looked at this, and first of all, the agenda item says approval of the contract, okay, so we don't have the contract here to approve. And second, after just talking a little bit, it sounds more like we're talking about entering into negotiations for a contract rather than entering into that contract right now that doesn't exist. So I'd like to see us change the proposed motion a little bit. I don't know if other board members have thoughts on this.
Any other board members have? So I think what she's trying to, if I'm reading it right, approval of proposal to enter into negotiations, is that what you?
Negotiations for a contract?
Negotiations, yeah.
Negotiations.
Negotiations for a contract to co-locate. I would like to propose that amendment.
Just talking about amending that in the motion.
I agree. And I'm just trying to confirm, I would consider a friendly amendment to that without a problem, which will solve going through all the other semantics we would have to do.
Correct, yes.
So, friendly amendment to move that the Willow Run Board of Education authorize the superintendent to enter into negotiations for a contract to co-locate transportation services and so on.
Support.
Hold on one second. Okay. It has been moved and supported that the Willow Run Board of Education authorize the superintendent to enter into negotiations for a contract to co-locate his transportation operations, staff, fleet, and maintenance in the Willow Run School District with modifications to the Sampson building to accommodate additional workers and fleet. All those in favor? Well, I'm going to amend it first. Then,
You don't need to with a friendly amendment.
okay. All right. So now discussion.
I think as the board knows, we have Mr. Myers and Mrs. Thomas and President Guerin and myself on the committee, the Collaboration and Communication Task Force Committee, We have additional members of the committee here tonight in the audience to help assist with any questions that you may have before we go ahead and approve this, vote on this. We have Scott Menzel here, the ISD superintendent. We have Kelly Powers here, she's on the team as union representation for EYEA. And we have David Bates here, the president of the Ypsilanti School Board. Member. Yep.
Can we get them all?
So I know that Mr. Menzel has a few words that he'd like to add to our
Well,
discussion.
first, it's hard to believe it's been 5 months since we had the joint meeting at Eastern, and the temperature has plummeted since then. That was kind of a nice casual evening and comfortable, but not any longer. So one of the things that we gave you to hand out was our quarterly report, because at that joint meeting, we agreed that we would provide quarterly reports to each Board of Education and also the representative Rutledge. And on one side of the handout is the quarterly report, on the back side is the information related to this particular motion. And I think the conversation about contract versus negotiating a contract, the key point here, and it will be important for Ypsilanti on Monday, is that it's the sense of both boards that we're going to make this co-location happen. We have to hammer out some of the details in terms of how we make it happen, but after researching the options that were available, looking at what was going to be the most cost-effective, that would enhance safety, create opportunities for us to identify other cost savings in the future, the committee, the task force felt very strongly that this was the best recommendation to bring forward. I'm happy to answer any other specific questions you might have, or if Mr. Bates or Ms. Powers would like to add, now's a good time.
I apologize for getting here a little bit late. It's an interesting room to try and find. But anyways, you know, the friendly amendment that made reflects my understanding of what we were working on. You know, this is a big opportunity, and not without, you know, its concerns. We've had a long history between our two districts, and I guess I just want to say that it's been a privilege for me to have the opportunity to work with President Garrett and Ms. Thomas and Mr. Myers as we work through this kind of historic opportunity. It's a big move, and we look forward to following in your footsteps in another few days, actually. So if there's questions that I can answer, I'm also happy to do that. But other than that, thank you for the privilege of having the opportunity to work with you, and be rest assured that it's our intent to work together to solve whatever problems have to be solved. We don't see this as a contest, we see this as an opportunity. And whatever, come what may, we'll work through it together.
Thank you. One of the questions I would have is with the joint operation we have through the ISD right now, how does that affect any of this? Do we know that yet?
It doesn't, in terms of effect, part of it is its logistics as we think about how to move buses back and forth and how we structure that. And Tom's been very active in looking at the details of the logistics of co-locating at the Sampson building. The other thing that the opportunity presents for us, and until this decision is made, we couldn't go forward with the next step of our analysis, and that is, can we move from two separate transportation systems, two separate approaches to routing, to a unified busing system between the two districts so that we can optimize efficiency. So by co-locating the fleet, it gives us an opportunity to take another look at streamlining the transportation services between Ypsilanti and Willow. So we actually see it as an advantage and a potential opportunity to do some things that will save more resources.
In addition to all this, and we've been looking at all of the options, as it's been stated, what we're looking at is what's best for the kids. And if we can do that and do it by making this one step, it puts us closer to providing the best education we can and providing more, hopefully, classroom time for those kids so that they can be where they need to be to get the education that they need and that we should be providing.
How large are the fleets? How many buses does IPSI have?
I think our fleet's approximately 60 buses at this point.
And ours is?
We have about 29, maybe 24. You said 60.